coming at you live, man. How y'all doing tonight? I appreciate y'all very much entertaining me tonight. Glad to be here. What's happening, everybody? I'm out of the shower. Uh, P Funk is in the house and having a good night. It sounds like Mr. P Funk with the gorilla fingers. How's everybody doing out there? Man, it's been a wild, wild day. Yes, it has. How is everybody doing? What's happening? We got 12 people in here. Let's get those thumbs up. Let's get the party rocking. I got a new t-shirt today. As you can see, this Guns N' Roses shirt. Went to a local Hot Topic, and they had a couple t-shirts. Yeah, so it's harder and harder the older you get. You start to get aged out of the band t-shirts, so you could still get a Guns N' Roses shirt. And I got another shirt today, the other day, that was Third Eye Blind. Those were the two bands that are like, okay, I like the one Third Eye Blind album. I think it's got really good songs on it, but yeah. GNR, dude. What's for second dinner? Second dinner tonight is the Telecaster Feast. Freddie B, how you doing? Milwaukee in the house. Yeah, might have to do a squat. So right on, Freddie B. Glad to have you here. FMP, Joey, glad to have you here. So yeah, my friend's wife made a quilt out of his old concert shirts. Right on, very cool, Dan. Thank you, Erickson. How is everybody doing tonight? So, the video I put out Friday about what's going on in Nashville, you get a lot of feedback on these things. And like I said, man, not intending to disparage any one place, anybody from going to Nashville, or any specific bar, or any specific person. But yeah, man, it's a very serious thing if all these people are saying this is happening, and this needs to be looked at. And men in the comments this morning, Ryan Upchurch. Now, I don't know if the older guys that follow my channel know who Ryan Upchurch is, but man, he's a big country music star and really interesting personality and online presence and all that. So yeah, man, he chimed in and said, man, dude, he said, dude. So he must have watched the channel, right? Because he says, dude, and he goes, dude, I'm in court right now dealing with somebody, dealing with somebody who I suspected of doing this same thing. So, man, that's incredible. I invited him on the channel. I don't know if he has time to do all that, but he has like 3.8 million or 3.5 million YouTube followers. And so, of course, after he put a comment on the video, the video did, a lot more views today. I mean, it's I don't know if that video will make it. Dude, you're working. Cool, Ramon, man. Well, I'm glad that you're able to stop in, man. Yeah, man, it's just wild, dude. It's wild. You got a lot of people saying, oh, it's not happening, but you got a lot of people saying this is happening everywhere. So here's the deal, man. Man, if this is happening, I'm hearing people saying this is happening in Austin. I'm hearing people say it's happening in Vegas. See, maybe I've just been out of the game now for a certain amount of years and don't realize what's going on in these bars. It's a different breed of people hanging out in these bars like it was, when I was going out, man. You could pretty much stumble around and fall on your arse, when I was going out to the bars and not have to worry about this stuff. But man, you know what? It's wild out there. Now I've got right here, I've got my Rode Strat. This was my Strat. Look, check it out, dude. 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 This was my guitar on, look what it says on the back of the headstock. Dude, dude, dude. Now this is a real relic. This is a couple of years, maybe 3 years of road worn, right? And a lot of it's abuse. I mean, there's a Colt Ford video where I'm in the video dragging this through a gravel parking lot. So, some of it's extreme, but it started. I remember this thing was perfectly new. And what happens is this would be like I would take out my frustrations, my daily frustrations on this instrument. And I remember the first time I put a ding on it was right here. And I was at this rehearsal. This was before I was on the road. And I was out on a rehearsal, and I was starting to get frustrated and just inside my head. And I chipped at it with a pick. This is a nitrocellulose finish, so this thing will flake off very easily. Anything that, the sticker is kind of interesting. And then you've got this little guy right there. Look, it moves. It moves. It totally moves. It totally moves, bro. It's a hologram, dude. Dude, it's totally epic, bro. Look at that. It's totally epic. So yeah, man. This is a really nice guitar, but it is roasted. Now I don't know if you can see, but you can even see the pick guard is like faded to a darker color. I mean, it's warped. The pick guard is warped right there. That's all sweat and heat, right? You could probably screw that down, but why? I mean, 70s big headstock. This is a Warmoth neck. This is all parts caster, right? This is a Warmoth neck. And it was put together by Shelley, a guy named Shelley at Nashville Fretworks, right? And this is a flame maple cap board. You can see the flame on that neck. Now the neck is roasted because it was in the trailer and in the guitar, the road case that I kept it in. So it was roasted. This whole guitar was roasting in that trailer in the hot sun every day. Yeah, this is a Warmoth. It's a very good neck. It's got the modern thing where the truss rod adjustment is right there. It's fairly chunky, not huge. But I think this is like a modern C, I think, or it could be their slim C. It's not like a super thick neck, but this has got like there's graffiti on here from like a date. Here's July or 2013, July 16th, 2013, Hollywood. So we were somewhere out in Hollywood or somewhere right there when I carved that in there. It just became like, and look, a lot of this right here is we used to put duct tape. We used to do the Eddie Van Halen thing, and we would put gaff tape right here and have picks all lined up and down it because I would be constantly whipping picks out to the crowd, throwing picks in the air, just showboating, doing a little mini Ingve show during the course of this country, these country shows. So yeah, look at the bolt. The bolt is warped right there. I mean, this thing is roasted and toasted, bro. Now this sticker that says caked on it, It's a funny story. So we were on the bus after a show, rolling down the freeway, and we were watching a celebrity on one of those shows, like award show, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something like that. And the guy he seemed like he was really amped, like he was really fired up. And I was saying how he was on the beak food, right? I was saying that oh dude, he's geeked, bro. He's on the beak food, dude. And I go, dude, he's so beaked, he's caked, bro. It's just, when it's like caked all and you're literally like baking biscuits and stuff. I said, dude, he's caked. Dude, look at him, caked. Right? And so our drummer had one of those labeling things, and he made a label that said caked, and he stuck it on the guitar. So that cake thing is from our drummer out on the road, and that's what that stands for. So it's caked, dude. He's caked, bro. He's totally caked. So that's another one for you. So this thing brings back a lot of memories, man. A lot of memories. So how's everybody doing out there tonight? Went off on a little tangent. Totally caked, bro. Toasted. Toasted is another one. Roasted and toasted, bro. Lauren, that's great to hear. Freddie B, we're glad to have you here. Paul is on the wrench tonight. I believe Demonetized is on the wrench. I believe Dave is here on the wrench. And we've always got such a stellar crowd in here that we usually don't need the wrenches. Hilarious thumbnail. Thank you, Cardona. I always try to make the thumbnail amusing. Right on, Dave. Right on, Jimmy Ray. I'm glad. Hey, so Jimmy Ray, he is a Guitar God member of this channel. And I want to thank you, sir. I want to thank you. I'm going to give you a personal big shout out because he was the first and only one for a while. Now, Eric Blue has joined the Guitar God membership. And there is a perk, Jimmy, if you want it. Glad to have you here. I'm going to work on adding some more perks to that level. I'm going to make some videos that are only for Guitar Gods. Totally baked, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna make some special material for the Guitar Gods. As you know, the interviews all go up to the next tier. I let people that have the let's see, it's Blues King, Rock God, and then Guitar God, or something like that, or Rock Star, and then Guitar God. Those are the three levels. And so the second level of membership gets access to the interviews. Now, I did an interview today with the guy who I was out on the road with Trick Pony. Right on. Dude, I don't think I can do I don't have 4 hours in me, Mike. I don't think I have that, but I'll do my best, bro. Here's the deal, man. We've got different levels to the membership, and I'm gonna work on adding more to the Guitar God. I mean, make some special material for Guitar God, but it also includes a Zoom consultation. So, and I think it's like 15 minutes a month. So, Jimmy Ray, shoot me an email. If you want that, we can, shoot the crap or whatever, man, whatever you want to do. That's included with Guitar God. If you want it, you can use it. Or if you just want to support the channel and get a membership, I'm cool with that as well. But just to throw that out there, there's different levels of membership. And man, I appreciate everybody who is a member of this channel. Yeah, no problem, Jimmy. Just thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody. Hendersonville TN in the house. Awesome. 615 the guitar. So that's my old neighborhood. And I still keep an eye. I still keep an eye on Nashville. I still keep an eye on Hendersonville. I still have my contacts and stuff out there. So always wish that area well. And like I said, man, by putting out the videos about Nashville is only to draw attention so that they can clean it up, make it safe, so that people can go and have a good meal, go see a concert, go out, have a couple of drinks, and go home. That's all that should be happening in downtown Nashville because, man, it is a cool place to be. Yeah, wish it into the cornfield. Yeah, let's see. Thank you, Jimmy Ray. Yeah, man, dude, this is a great community of players, music lovers, and then just humans, man. We've really made a great community. And, we try to keep it positive, and every now and then we'll lose somebody, along the way. And that's just kind of a part of life. But man, the people that stay tuned into this channel, they know that, this is filled with good people, man. And we just want the best for each other. And that's, Dave is a human. Paul is a human. Jimmy Ray is a human. Freddie B is a human. Demonetized. Mike Holmes is a human. Man, we keep it real here. Okay, here's a good question. I'm going to answer Edward Bliss. Do you think the negative feedback towards Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl might be the start of the backlash towards pop? Nam yo renge kyo, nam yo renge kyo. Okay. So I think the backlash against her is one, football fans are tired of seeing her at the games. That's part of it. I think a lot of people wanted the Eagles to win just because they're tired of Kansas City Chiefs. No offense to Kansas City Chief fans, but I think a lot of people were that. Look, it's easy for the world to build something up. And then a lot of times you get at the top and you get too big ahead and you're gloating too much and making too much money. It's easy for people to not like that as well. So I think, here's the thing, man. Somebody posted a clip today. Go watch it and make your own assumptions. Taylor Swift singing with Stevie Nicks, a Fleetwood Mac song. Yeah. It is what it is, right? Somebody posted that. Yeah, I think it's going to have to be, in order to, the pop thing, as long as the powers that be are in control, as long as people support pop and follow whatever their TV tells them to follow, then it'll still sell. But man, you know what? I mean, we're making headway even just with this channel, just having this community here. I mean, building our own thing. So that's something to think about, man. The fact that we're building a community here, and just like anybody else can build a community. FMP, are you asking me? All I'm saying is go watch that clip. That I'm not saying anything about anybody singing, but that clip, well, it is what it is. I hear you, Super Strike, absolutely. Okay, Freddie, yeah. Look, man, I've known some amazing female singers, and look, man, if you take away the spotlight and you take away the glitz and glamour and the big radio push in the media and all that, I like to judge people by, would I hire them on a gig? If Taylor Swift wasn't a multimillionaire and a super hit singer, and I had my choice of Nashville female singers to do a gig with, would I call Taylor Swift? Taylor Swift would probably be number 40 or number 30 on the list. And that's meaning I wouldn't call. I personally wouldn't call, but that's just me. I judge people by, like, Man, I do the same thing with musicians. I look at a player and go, would I use that guy on a gig? If that guy was in Nashville and I needed a drummer for that night, would I use that drummer on a gig? And I think about it. I mean, in some ways, doing those Nashville gigs where you got to play anything and everything, um, you just don't know. It's a tough question, man, because look, there's so many more better people out there. There's so many better singers. There's people starving to death. And you know what? Maybe she had some help. God bless her, whatever. It is what it is, man. I like to think of it, could I use this person on a gig? That's how I think about it. It's like playing football. So, Freddie, you should have chat. It should be in there. Restart it. It should be loading on the right side. Having a little sparkling water here on a Saturday night. Right on, Chris. Glad to have you here. You have a guitar lesson in about 20 minutes. Well, good luck with that, sir. Thank you for dropping in. Yeah, Dan, that's just that's ridiculous. Here's the thing, and I talk about it on my channel, man. Ranking guitar players. I mean, is Taylor Swift? I mean, I don't even. Does she even play guitar anymore? Does she ever even go out? Like back in her early days, it seemed like she always had that Taylor guitar on, and she was always doing that. Cliff, how you doing? Maryland in the house. All right. So is she even playing guitar these days? I mean, dude, come on. You'd have to. I mean, I get that she inspires people. But that's all. That's the only reason they're doing it. I mean, is she? Like I said, I don't even think guitar now when I think Taylor Swift. What now, Erickson? You asked a very good question. Would I use Miley Cyrus on a gig? Abso-friggin-lutely, in a heartbeat, dude. That's the kind of spitfire, go for it singer that, man, if she would, because I've used people like that. I've known singers like that had that fire and would sing whatever you put in front of them and would get out there, and I would use Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus on a gig 100 million times more than I would say Taylor Swift. And Hannah Montana would knock it out, dude. She would knock it out. So yeah, hey man, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, you could do the same thing with musicians. You could say, hey, would you use Neil Peart on a gig? I mean, that's a unique question. Look, Neil Peart is one of the greatest drummers of all time. But man, if you see his performance at the Buddy Rich thing, that's maybe not his best work. So, would a guy like that be great playing a gig where he had to play the first hour playing straight ahead jazz? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot of tough questions when you're making a call. But man, the thing that Miley has over Taylor Swift is power. And if a singer has power, then I know they can carry it on a gig, dude. You don't want a little wispy, I don't want that, dude. Because what if my PA sucks? What if the monitors go out? What if the conditions are awful? You want a powerful singer. So, yeah. Nick, I mean, that's it. And look, FMP, I don't mean to upset you if you like Taylor Swift. Hey, man, she's an artist. She's not a studio singer. So, she's certainly a viable artist, and I'll never ever reach any level of success like that. She's figured out and found her audience, which is what we're all doing. Is what I'm doing right now, is finding my audience, and that's a skill, man. Yeah, if all that happens, yeah, I would get 100 songs written about me, dude. Because back in the day, dude, I would be tough. I was tough to deal with on gigs. Yeah, there you go, Dr. Star. There you go. And let me tell you something. We got a bona fide rock star in the chat right now, and I'm gonna say this right now. Dr. Star has been a great supporter of this channel. And he's. But let me tell you something, man. I watched a ton of his clips, dude. Dr. Star is a great front man. The dude had the look. The dude had the voice. And man, I can't tell you why. That dude. I've watched some clips of Dr. Star, and I said, man, I wish I'd have known that guy when I was out in LA. Because he had the whole package, dude, and he did a lot of stuff. He was in movies. He had a bunch of different bands that headlined on the Strip and all that. And he's an amazing singer, amazing frontman, man. So I'm gonna give a salute to one of our very own, dude. I'm not trying to make you blush. And like I said, I'm not easy on singers. I'm not easy on musicians. But I watched your clips, and I was like, man, that dude really had it. You really had it, dude. And that was not an easy thing. Yeah, I wish I'd have known you too back then, man. It's like we all got kind of pulled into our own little worlds, and it was very competitive out there, and everybody kept in their own little lanes. And it just is what it is. Thank you, FMP. If you like the lava lamp, if you punch the product link on the screen, it says something like that. You can get the Bad Brad lava lamp. Hey, man, Dr. Star, absolutely, dude, absolutely. So yeah, that you can get this giant lava lamp at that link. It's connected to the video. Here's a good question. Let's see. Why do megastars team up for co-headlining shows? Sting and Billy Joel's latest one. Well, here's the thing. Vagrants Ballet, and that's a good question. They're doing these co-headlining things because they're starting to notice that they can't sell it out by themselves. That's why they're doing it. And it's more money. And the ticket prices could be charged more. And we have a Bad Brad ShamWow. No, we do not. I don't think it's cheaper to tour. Look, touring is expensive, and having two headliners, they got to split the money. But what it means is that instead of having to play theaters when you get older, when you get older, the excitement of people going to see you, people still want to go see you. But it maybe is not that level of excitement when you were a young man and prancing around on stage in your tight pants. And now you're an old dude, and people are wondering, does he still have it? So, putting two people on the bill, it adds value to the bill. These guys all still have it, and they're all able to put on great shows. But I think a lot of bands are having to do this, man. They're having to do these double bills. So yeah, that's the deal. Now, Chris asked, well, Paul McCartney doesn't do it, does he, Susie? That's a good point. Here's the deal. Chris asked what's on tap for tomorrow. We didn't do an interview last week. I did a special thank you to everyone that tunes into the channel. But I think tomorrow it's time to air the Hardcore Drummer episode that's been up on my channel in the members section for a while. It's an incredible interview, the inside baseball of playing hardcore. Now, what is hardcore? Hardcore is like a combination of metal and punk. And it's very fast. There's fast elements, there's groove elements to it. And it's a really cool dude who reached out to my channel, who also has his own podcast. And he does films, he does horror films. And so I'm going to air that tomorrow morning, and I'm going to join you guys all at 8 a.m. tomorrow for that. And that's going to be a really good episode. So make sure everybody tunes in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on this channel, Eastern Standard Time, for my interview with a hardcore drummer. It's going to be killer. So yeah, man, that's it. Who else has got killer questions? I'm always looking for the killer one. Super Strike, thank you for being here. Right on. We've got somebody talking about Geddy Lee and his collection of autographs. Yeah, Super Strike, we're always glad to hear you. Glad to have you. Tribute bands in UK are really popular and a great price. Well, that's the thing, man. Look, I've had this discussion a lot, man. The thing is, dude, back in the day, we could see these artists for low ticket prices, 10 bucks, 15 bucks, 8 bucks to go see these artists in their prime. And now we're expected to pay $1,000 to go see them, and we know the songs are tuned down, or there's this and that. I can't bring myself to pay those crazy prices. So yeah, somebody just said I can't afford to see a cover band. Well, look, man, I haven't seen a live band since I left Nashville. I can't say I miss it. I'm sure eventually we will go to a concert or something, but man, the way prices are and stuff, do you put in new value pots on your HSS Strats? Nick Rambles is asking. I would assume, and what I would always do is always wire the bridge pickup, whether it's a single coil or a humbucker, always wire it to this pot, and I guarantee it's probably a 500K pot here. And then these two pickups are wired to this middle tone pot. So that way you can have the right values on each pickup. That's a great question. So yeah, now look, I haven't opened this up in a long time. So I'm pretty sure that was done by my guy. That's the deal. It pretty much did, Christian. There is actual blood. Let's see, can we see it? It's sort of faded into it, but there was blood up here. See around there. Yeah, this thing's been through a lot. It's got burn marks. There's the obligatory cigarette burn. The obligatory cigarette burn. Dude, it's the obligatory cigarette burn. Bro, it's the obligatory cigarette burn. You gotta roast and toast, and then you put your cigarette there, and then it burns while you're jamming, and you look like a rock guy. It's the obligatory cigarette, dude. It's the obligatory cigarette burn, bro. So yeah, man, this thing has been through it. Oh, let's see. Wait a minute. I think that's blood too. I think I think that's a nice, like, I would always cut myself, on the road, or you cut yourself on stage, and I would just wipe it on there. How about the cigarette tuners? I don't know they have tuners now that look like a cigarette pack or something. I don't know. Oh, I lost the chat. What? Oh, there it is. I just wrote a total hit, dude. It's the obligatory cigarette burn. Deftones are beyond new metal. Mike, you know, I plead the fifth, bro. I done be pleading the fifth, dude. Dude, you better get tone with the burn, bro. You do. It totally, dude. It's totally roasted, bro. And like I said, dude, this neck was pale white when I got it. And you know, dude, it's literally like a baked maple board now. Killer flame in that. Look, it's 3-dimensional, dude. It's totally 3-dimensional, dude. So how's everybody doing? We got 85 people in here. That's awesome, but we got to get those thumbs up. We need everybody to become a subscriber to this channel. We're on our way to, what are we at? What's the count? 12.5, something like that. Yeah, man, we've got an amazing amount of people joining. How was the 6 thumbs up? Yeah, we need, there we go. That was awesome. We got those thumbs up coming up, man. Let's get those going. What does everybody want to talk about tonight? I'm a little bit, bar bands are sounding way better than they used to. Auto-tune correction equipment. So cheap now that everyone can use it. Sure, everybody can use auto-tune. Everybody can use it. Everybody can use tracks. Erickson, thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. You are a god among men. You are a rock god. Thank you, brother. Thank you. You are a god. Thank you. Erickson is a huge supporter of this channel, and man, we have to give him a huge salute because this is a building, dude. We're totally building something, bro. Throw them up, bro. Let's get the thumbs up. Let's get the subscriptions up. Somebody send FMP a pizza. Dude, let's send him a shrimp pizza, bro. What ungodly things can we put on pizza? Let's send him the shrimp and oyster pizza. There you go, bro. There you go. So what's everybody doing tonight? It's Saturday night. Tomorrow morning, got an awesome interview with an amazing hardcore drummer talking all about touring. You think it's tough? You think it's tough touring, and then you hear about what you got to do if you got to imagine playing Poland. Now, you think Poland has nice green rooms? No, dude, it looks like something out of a gulag, bro. And there's one story, and I'll give you a little taste, talking about like the water. They had freezing water, like they're having to shower in this like ice cold Polish like water that's coming out of the faucet, dude. They were like, it's kind of shocking to think that conditions are like that, dude. So yeah, enjoying the night off, watching some concerts on YouTube and having a bourbon. Right on. We're glad to have you, Gib Les Paul. They are tough, Ben. They are tough, and it makes you realize, man, how good we got it. Talking to my buddy today that I interviewed, and hearing about his grandfather, who was a Grand Ole Opry member. That interview is going to be up. I'll probably try to get that up within the next couple of days. But, remember, dude, this guy got to go on stage at the age of 4 on the Ryman Auditorium while his grandfather is singing to a packed house. If that doesn't give you the bug, nothing will. And dude, he's been chasing that feeling ever since. Imagine feeling that at 4 years old, being on stage at the Ryman. There's some epic stories, dude. Epic stories. And to be, at a time, that was, a time when Nashville really did feel like a small town. So yeah, that's pretty maybe. We've got, yeah, Mike P Funk. We got it good, dude. It is. It could be way worse, dude. It could be way worse. Because back in those days, those guys would be touring in a station wagon or a four-seat Cadillac, and they'd have the upright bass on top of the car, strapped down. Imagine strapping down, probably, did they have a tarp over the thing? I mean, surely they didn't have a plastic bass case. So you imagine, dude, the elements that those old upright basses, the slap bass, rockabilly style basses, would get, the beatings that the guitars and stuff. And look, imagine in those days, a guitar player would have one guitar. That's all. Like, imagine Scotty Moore with Elvis. And here's the interesting thing. So the guy I interviewed today, his grandfather was one of the main guys to get Elvis on the Louisiana Hayride, which is one of the gigs that got Elvis started. And he toured with Elvis Presley in the 50s. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that, dude? But what it was like then, having to cruise around in a four-seat car, taking turns driving all through the night, driving to the next town, dealing with shady sheriffs in different towns, and it's just, man, it's crazy. The pioneers, those guys were so tough, man. Those guys were tough, dude. I mean, even now, the if you're a van dude, the vans now with the nice seats in them, or the nice bench seats, that's a lot better than the old days of traveling in the equipment van. Now, equipment van was just a white van with two seats, and then the gear would be jammed in there, and people would be sleeping on top of the gear. Nowadays you'll get a trailer, and you'll hook that up to the van, or they have those Mercedes, those Sprinter like van type things that have like bunks and stuff in them. So, man, people have got it way easier now, man. But man, I'm not sure. I don't think the money has changed. They needed better production back then, but imagine showing up, no monitors, and playing auditoriums, high school auditoriums, where they'd have two speakers. I remember back in the day, they had two speakers like this in wooden boxes, and they would be mounted on each side of the auditorium, and one microphone in the center of the stage. Guitar player would have a little amp. The bass player would have to just thump away to be heard, and the drummer would have to bash away to be heard. And probably the only thing coming out of the little speakers, those little speakers, would be the lead vocal. John, thank you so much. Yes, indeed, John. Thank you. Very true. I like this shirt a lot, man. I'm trying to hit the heart button, but there we go. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So yeah, Black Bows 901s. But yeah, I don't, dude. So I'm sure Dr. Starr. I did it when I was in elementary school. Sang at the contest. Had my little harmony tube amp and my Japanese Univox guitar and one of those old school microphones. The metal, silver metal ones with the grates on the front of it, and singing into that, and singing through those two little speakers so it'd be distorted. But imagine that's how rock and roll started, is a band of just a bass player, a drummer, and a guitar player. And even the earlier days, very early days with Elvis, there was no drummer. The bass player was essentially the drummer, because he'd be doing all that slapping. He'd be doing all that slapping on it. So yeah, man, it's crazy. That's how it all started, dude. And it's where it's progressed now is the technology. People can say they needed better production back then, but I think it would almost be incredible to see a band make it out of that. Yeah, the Shure 55. I had one of those for a while. I need to get one of those again. I sold it. I should have kept that damn thing. But yeah, man, slapping the dirt weasel, bro. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, dude, think about rockabilly bass and then funk bass. They're both slapping the bass, right? I mean, it's a similar thing, man. Yeah, well, and here's and later on, after I got out of elementary school, then later PV came out with the XR 600s and affordable like PA gear for home, and that stuff was way better than what they had in elementary school. What they had in middle school or whatever they want to call it. So, man, production and stuff has come a long way, but yeah, now bands can have auto tune plug in on their laptop or on their iPad and just set it and forget it, dude. And yeah, I mean, they could be tuning or they could be singing the track. Yeah, when they stand upright bass player, they can do the tricks. They stand on the upright, they straddle it and do the boom boom boom. I've seen guys hold it upside down and do it that way. The spinning is a whole art to playing slap upright bass. Have I ever carried a 412 cab? Yes, Ben. I've actually carried one in each arm back in the day. Yeah, I had no problem, no problem. But now I wouldn't even try to do it. Yeah, is it live or is it Memorex? You just don't know anymore. I mean, I could tell. I could go see a band live and know whether what I'm hearing is everything is being reproduced with the guys on stage, or I hear extra stuff. Yeah, I wish I'd have known Dr. Starr back in those days. We certainly went through our if we'd have had a singer like you, we wouldn't have had so many problems, man. It was just tough back then. Finding a great singer and finding the right singer for your band. Ever carried a Fender Super Twin? No, but I've carried a twin. Um, so yeah, Super Twin. What about what was the one where it had like six tens in it? What was that one called? Fender. Let me know in the comments. I'll be waiting. Who comes up with that? Yeah, Dr. Starr is doing a lot, and I think Dr. Starr was you were rocking the strip way before I had even gotten in a band out there. No, it's not a Bassman, Ben. I can't think of it. It's the Super Six, a Fender Super Six. Look it up, dude. That is a beast of an amp. It's tall. It's like a super, right? But it has six speakers, and I'm not sure about the wattage on that. I think it might be 100 watts. 100 watts. Fender Super Six. I remember seeing Trace Adkins on the road, and his guitar player had two of those Super Sixes backstage blasting. And I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, but that would not be something that I would want to be carrying. Look, I think the best Fender amp out there is the Fender Super. I might need Super Reverb. That is a killer amp. I'm not sure, Freddie, if they had gray covering or not. I'm not sure. It's a silver face. It's a Fender Super 6, and it's a silver face. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. We are on the We're on the last 10 minutes unless we do a little bit of overtime tonight, but I'm not gonna be able to go for hours and hours tonight because frankly, my goose is cooked, bro. My goose is totally roasted and toasted, bro. But yeah, man, the Fender Super Reverb, dude. Um, yeah, well, of course, Christian. If I could have gotten Howard Dumble to modify my amps, I would be a rich man. If I were a rich man, lita duda dita duda, right? Because if he touched your amps, they're all of a sudden worth tens of thousands of dollars. So yeah, Mike's going to Vegas, Double Down Saloon, bro. Yeah, he does. He's got that low. He got that real low voice too. And dude, Trace Atkins. He's the Viking dude, right? He literally, dude. That is a big dude. He is. How tall is that guy? Does anybody know? He's got a hell of a thing. It is hard to beat a stack of Marshalls, absolutely, but it's a different thing, man. Loud and clean. Country Act needs loud and clean. Rivera Stage 4. Those look really cool, Jimmy. Uh, yeah, I like all. Look, why doesn't Fender, speaking of Rivera era Fender amps, why doesn't Fender put out a real Fender Super Champ? That is a amp that is it's like a hidden gem. I think they probably go for pretty good penny now, but it's a Fender Super Champ from the Rivera era, and they are very sought after because they have a killer overdrive tone. They crank. It's a Super Champ. And it's not that one they did, that digital one they did a few years back that everybody is Super Champ XS or whatever. It's not that. It was made in the what, late 70s, and it's a Fender Super Champ. That is a highly sought after amp. If you ever see one and it's a ridiculously low price, obviously buy it. Very cool amp. There was one they did with red knobs. Yeah, there's the red knob ones, and I don't know. I'm not an expert on Fender amps, but I do know that if that's an amp that Fender should probably redo. They should probably reissue and do it exactly like they did it back in the day. Well, 800, that's a good price if it's a real, not the Super Champ XS with the digital stuff. John, thank you. What is your favorite GNR song? Um, John, well, it would have to be something off Appetite for Destruction. Um, I would say off the top of my head, It's So Easy. And I'll say that because that song kind of sums up the Sunset Strip Hollywood thing. That whole wake up late and put on your clothes and take your credit card or your rented car to the liquor store. And it's basically talking about having the girl buy the buy the booze, take your credit card to the liquor store, and speeding like a space brain one more time. Or no, that's is that no, that's which one is that? That one is speeding like a one more time tonight. I'm on the night train. Night train's another one, man. Look, it's hard to pick one. It's So Easy is great. Um, and Night Train, that's a huge one. And what a Rocket Queen is got a vibe. All that whole record reminds me of Hollywood. It makes me want to get in my car right now and put the top back and go blast that stuff, dude, and blast it. It's a look. I don't think generations that don't get what that whole stuff was about and the whole vibe of that. It's yeah, Erickson. It's got a Jimmy. Thank you so much, brother. You are amazing. Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's a time travel. Is it 89? I thought that album came out in 87. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, John, that's Night Train. Well, then let's say Night Train, because those are the lyrics, pop. But here's what I do like. If you've seen the "It's So Easy" music video that they just put out, like what was it, 5 years ago or whatever? Um, Go watch that. It's all footage from the cat house, and it's footage of Axel with his ex doing you know doing shady stuff, right? And then clips of Axel sitting in the limo with two girls and a can of beer. I mean, it's a whole vibe, dude. It takes me back to those times. It You just think back and for to experience that era and go to those places and see, Slash out and see Duff and see the fashion, the way people dressed back then, and how everybody tried to look good before you went out. You'd put an effort. You'd wear like rough looking stuff, but you still were trying to look good. And girls would be all dolled up. I mean, people don't dress like that. There was something sexy about the way girls dressed back then that they don't know how to do now. They try to look sexy now, but it's not. They don't. There's something about that era and the peak, sort of the peak of, Paradise City is a good video, but watch the It's So Easy video. It's such an over the top video, but it just reminds me. And there's a girl in that video doing what do they call the thing where it's what are they with the girls in the wiggling their butts or whatever. There's a girl in the video doing the whole what is that twerking thing. There's a girl in there twerking. There's dancers on stage. I think the girl, My Michelle, I think you can see her in the front row of the video, like, totally making a big deal. It's a moment in time that there should have been more footage of. There should have been more camera crews documenting what was going on back in those days, because it was absolutely epic. It was absolutely like you could go out with not a penny in your pocket and go out and end up having the time of your life. You just had to be open to go. And that's why, Mikey can tell you, we had our friend, Wild and Free, Sweet Johnny D. Johnny D would always, I don't want to go out. I don't have any money. And you just like, dude, just put your damn clothes on and be quiet. I'll buy you a beer. Don't, dude, just because here's the thing, man. You had to just go. You just had to be there. You just had to show up, right? That's what they always tell you. Just show up. And that's what the Sunset Strip was. Like, dude, you didn't need money. You just had to put on your best pair of jeans and make sure the do was styled, and put on your best t-shirt, and that's all you needed. That was all you needed. And you could end up having the most epic night of your life, or something absolutely insane could happen. Yeah, Trippy, it's true, man. There is very little archival footage. Most of it's all been seen before. They were using old YouTube clips on that Nothing But a Good Time documentary. There's very little footage. It's like I've lost some footage that I had from back in those days. We never had more than a couple bucks, Mike. Dude, if you had $5 in your pocket back in those days, you were good because you could get a 12 pack for $4.99. Coors Light. How many times did we get a case of Coors, dude? I know when me and Babushio would get in the car, dude, it was like mandatory. All right, how much money you got? And we put I got 250, I got 275. Well, that'll be enough. We can get us a 12 pack. And we didn't need money to get in the clubs because once you were in a band on the Sunset Strip, we could get in any of those clubs you want. And sometimes you'd go in the club and you'd see somebody who'd buy you a drink or tell you where the after party is or meet a couple of interesting people and take them back to the Shock House for an interesting party. You just had to show up. You didn't need and that's what I'm saying, man. Don't let money, if you're young people, what's happening, Scott? Young people out there, if you watch these videos, if you watch these sections, learn from us, man. We didn't need a lot of money. We just went out and made the best of it. Create your own scene. There you go. $5 an hour at A&M. For real, dude? For real. So, Freddie, you were out there? Y'all ever go to Jack? I have a story about Figs, and it was not in fact, me and P-Funk, we went to Figs' house one night, and it was not a good experience. I've told the story on this channel. I'm not going to tell it again, but let's just say we had to get the hell out of Figs. We left in a, screw you kind of, and get out the front door and take our girls with us and all that with us. That was not a good situation. There was something bad almost happened at Figs. So yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's an interesting one, Mike. How about the time, dude? There was a time where I fell into some funds and took everyone out to sushi at the place that was at Ten Masa or something across from the Rainbow. It was like, come on, everybody, sushi on me. And just, and dude, I had gone out that night and not had a dime. We were always ready to throw down. Mike, no, I could always count on P-Funk. P-Funk would never, if I said, dude, come on, he would always pull it together and go out. And so we're going to send a salute out to P-Funk, who we hit the strip many, many times. Yeah, man, I'm going to, wrap it up tonight. Thank everybody for what's happening, Ozzy. Glad to have you here. Did I play at the Central? Yes, I did play at the Central. Right on. Yes, I played at the Central before it was the Viper Room. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm going to be with you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Dr. Starr. And yeah, man, thank you. This has been a great night. Thank you to everybody with the super chats and everything. Everybody have a great night. I will see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for an awesome interview. Thank you again. And we'll see you on the next one.